not 5 o'clock yet.
You know that TNO up there, they're an outfitter of police cars and stuff. That new one went out. Yeah.
Well, I think that's
Okay.
5 o'clock.
okay. I've got 5 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. This is the City of Attica Board of Works and Safety for Tuesday, 8/18. Would the clerk please call roll?
Mr. Gaylor, Mr. Smart,
Present.
Mayor Grant.
Present.
Okay, Mayor.
Minutes for the last meeting, that would be from 8/4/26.
Yeah, I've looked at them and I'll make a motion we approve.
Okay, I've looked at them as well, and I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Do we have any citizens petitions this evening? Yes, sir. You want to come up here so people can hear you at home?
Sure. So, state my name,
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeff Pike. We sent a letter to the city this morning and wanted to present it in writing,
Okay,
so it stands on the safety and responsibility for the damage done. Anything from sidewalk down, which is where our damage was at. So if you'd like to
Yeah.
look at those.
Very good.
And I noticed, this is just part of what was sent, but this is what we're requesting.
I think I understand. I mean, I've had a lot of people question me directly over, particularly the last few days, obviously, about trees and so on. I just had one come in today, and you probably know this, that the city's stance is always that the trees between the sidewalk and the street are the responsibility of the homeowner, and the city is not going to take responsibility for those. Now, if they've come down, the city guys have been going around and loading up the brush and, helping get them out of the way. And we had one down here across from the library just after the storm. Gentleman came in. It was actually leaning up against another tree, and he had to have a tree service come in and take that tree down. And they actually hauled it all away. I don't think we had to do anything on that, but
That's exactly what we did at the house.
the city stance is we will, if you pile the brush up, we'll get it eventually here. It's not a quick process right now, just due to the amount of work, but the city's not gonna pay to take a tree down or anything like that in that right of way.
Okay.
It's
There was a
almost
safety issue. There was a tree, just like what you just stated.
leaning.
It was caught in the forks of the other tree,
Mhm,
so we had to get somebody up there immediately when it's down.
mhm.
But
And we'll get it, if it's piled up there,
we've taken care of it.
oh, did you?
Yeah, it's all cleaned up. They're gonna take the tree completely down because it's ruined, but just want to get your stance, and I think somewhere in that writing, we asked for a written response.
And I can respond.
Please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're
Well,
asking-
that was easy.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No further citizens petitions. We'll go ahead and move on to department heads. Mr. Swank. I don't even know where you want to begin here, but
You can. May want to let everybody know as they call in about Miller Pipeline. I've asked them to leave the city for a couple of weeks so that we can essentially pick up brush.
Miller Pipeline, and just so everybody knows, those are the folks that are working on the gas company project.
Yes, percent. You know, right now we don't have the manpower or the means to go out and do 80 locates a day. We had a mishap yesterday where a line got hit, and instead of 3 of us out hauling brush, we were fixing a water leak instead. So they were compliant with it, and they moved on and headed to Rockville area. I told them I would reach out to them when I thought that we would have the availability to kind of cater to them.
Okay.
So there may be a lot of people calling. There's probably still some site restoration work that's happening with the Case Construction. That is another subcontractor, but
So that they're still in town probably working then.
yes.
If I've had several people ask me, when are they going to fix my sidewalk, or when are they going to fix my driveway? And those guys so far have done what I would say a phenomenal job of restoring sidewalks, putting them back. Most of them are better than they were when they started. I think I have any more questions on that. You're looking at
This
this.
is gonna be a long, ongoing
You're talking.
process, and, we're a very small crew trying to do a lot of work at one time, and that doesn't even entail the day-to-day operation. Today, we had a sewer that gave us issues that we're gonna have to dig and repair up, there, by Bobby Reynolds's. It's just one of those unforeseen things, and now we'll probably end up spending 2 days working on that situation once all the locates are in. That's a couple days that's taken away from brush cleanup. I don't know if there's a way to, for the workload that we've had for probably the last 2 years, there's a lot of moving parts that are going on here in the city. I would like for everybody to consider, if we can really raise our manpower. I'm not asking for 20 people, but a couple would greatly help our situation moving forward. And the more construction that happens here, the larger the city gets. You take that into consideration along with, aging infrastructure. I don't think we're gonna have any other path other than, to kick up our manpower. And we need probably younger people, because all of us are getting much older. And I would hate for, the city to be in a heck of a mess because all of us are walking out the door at the same time without a new generation.
Right.
And Eric, you say that, and we all have these preconceived notions when we're not involved with the government that it's easy peasy, and then once you kind of sit behind this desk or talk on it on a bi-monthly basis, you realize how much is on your guys' plate, and then you throw in Miller Pipeline and the water projects and the sewer projects and the leaks and on and on and on. I don't know how you guys do it with 5 guys. I think you have to be pushed to your limits, and then you throw a storm in there and something else. It's just almost over the top. But I might be a council issue, but I think I do agree with what he's saying, that I do think that we are, low at this point with everything that's hit us especially the last 3 to 4 years with all these projects. It just seems like they can't come up for air, but I think we ought to consider it.
We'd have to build that into the salary ordinance and add positions, based on that and on the budget. So it wouldn't be anything that happened overnight. I did have a company reach out to me out of Lafayette and said they've got some large trucks with grappling hooks on them that they can basically drive around and pick up brush piles. And I wouldn't be opposed to giving them a call and having them come down and help if that helps. And I know I've already talked to you about overtime, if anybody wants to work overtime and
Actually are right now.
make a little extra money. That'd be great.
Yeah, I just got out of the dump truck and 3 other guys volunteered to work over an hour tonight.
If they want to come in and work, on the weekend, that's fine too.
That is their plan.
So the trucks I'm seeing and the backhoes and the grapples, that's, the city didn't sub those guys out, those, I've been seeing dump trucks and all kinds of stuff. So that's just individuals hiring them.
There's a out at the dump site. There's only one other company who's been dumping out there, and I believe that's that Wood Warriors. They've got an old grain
Okay.
truck, and they've got a white Chevy dually
Okay.
that has a dump trailer on the back of it. And
Okay.
that's pretty much what we're seeing as we're pushing off all the debris out
Okay.
of the Badlands, because there's a lot of moving parts to it. As much brush as what's going out there to the Badlands, we pretty much have to have our Bobcat sitting out there, and as a load is dumped, one of us has to push that load to the hillside.
Yeah.
And we're turning over the truck, I think, normally it's anywhere between 21 and like 30 loads a day, depending on how many guys I can spare. That's just what we're taking
Right.
out there. But yeah, something like a grapple truck, we've got a lot of the large piles already and basically in section 1 picked up. Now, of course, people are bringing stuff from their backyard back out front, so it may not look like we're doing anything, but we're going in wherever there's large piles. That's what we're picking up. We're getting the whole street clean.
Yeah, I've seen them
And then
today.
when we move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
The
I've seen-
following morning when you come in, if it was a nice evening, the evening before that, the next day when you come in, it looks like there's a bunch more brush piles that just.
Right. People are still dragging it out.
But if we, like, if the offer's there for the grapple bucket truck to come in there, if they gave us, honestly, I don't know what their turnaround time is, how fast they can load and dump. But like, even if they gave us one full day to where they were out where the big stuff's at, they just grab it and get it on a truck, then it makes the rest of it, a lot more manageable for us, because we're taking a backhoe with a 4-in-1 bucket, and let's just say a person has a tree that's 16 inches in diameter. We're having to cut it to 8 or 9 feet, clamshell it, throw it in the back of the truck,
Right.
back up, cut another one.
Right.
And to kind of put it in perspective, my local TV channel is out Terre Haute, and I know the city of Terre Haute had a thing on the news last night that showed how they take care of the storm damage and what they essentially do. You can put it out to the edge of the street. It can't be any larger than 4 inches in diameter. Anything over 4 inches in diameter, they have to have somebody private or cut it up themselves. That's the only thing that they will accept. And then the storm damage situation, they will do it for 7 days. After 7 days, it's over. And that's not what I'm saying to do. I'm just trying to put it in perspective how some of these other cities operate, when something like this happens. I know a lot of people don't realize, but people are taking an entire tree and setting it from wherever it's basically fallen. So edge of the street, sidewalk into their yard. Well, for us to clean it up, which everybody is asking and saying that somebody's told them that's what we're gonna do, we have to drive all the way up onto their property, grab this stuff. And you know what's gonna end up happening when it's all said and done? Everybody's gonna ask us to go around and fill in all the whole ruts and holes.
Yes. Yeah, you created another
Plus,
job.
it's virtually impossible with all of the cars on the street.
Right.
We went up and down Pike Street today, and I finally told Zach, hey, we're wasting time doing this. Tomorrow morning, set me the excavator there. I've got to meet with Judd like at 10. I said, until that point, I'll grab it with the excavator so I can get it out between vehicles and things and load it up. So it's really very, very, very time consuming process. I
Yeah.
hope everybody realizes that.
Well, I think, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, is there any way to put out an alert and say, Pike Street needs to have vehicles not parked on it during, on this day from this time? It's kind of like emergency snow removal.
It is, and unfortunately, only a small number of the citizens pay attention to those when they come out. And I hate to say it because I think it's a wonderful tool,
Mhm.
but I get so many phone calls, and I know people come in asking questions that have already been answered many, many times. And I don't have a good answer for that, short of going up and knocking on somebody's door, and telling them, hey, we need for you to move your car. That for whatever reason, there's not a lot of interest in getting the app on your phone or getting those push notifications. I hate it, and I wish there was a way to get more people signed up for it, but
Well, and I guess we could put that notice out saying anybody in this block of Pike
Yeah.
Street needs to
you
Yeah.
can let your neighbors
move or,
know.
yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
we can try it, cause even if that gets a few cars off, that would be helpful.
I mean, like even basic things like that, I mean, there's no way you can get around it because it's trash day. But, we would move trash cans, clear off of somebody's property just because the trash can was right there where the brush pile was at.
Yeah.
I mean, which isn't that big of a deal, but still, every little bit that we can save.
But I do agree with what he's saying. I think it's not feasible to have somebody set a whole tree and expect them to cut the whole tree up. Now, I understand there's older people that can't do it themselves, but I think we need to figure out a system that if it has to be in 6 feet lengths, 8 feet lengths, it's over a certain diameter.
Most,
And if they can't do it, then either we have to say, there's going to be a fee assessed by the city if we have to come in and cut this up, or you need to have it, but we can't, they can't expect us to cut a oak tree this big that's 60 feet long. I mean, that's just too much to ask the city workers. They become tree trimmers at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's unrealistic. I understand, like I said, older people have limitations what they can do, but if they can't hire somebody to do that, then I think we have to have something in writing to say, hey, if we have to do this, this is the fee that's going to be charged. Or I don't know how it all works, but we could talk to our lawyer about that.
So would it help if I got this tree service out of Lafayette to come and talk to us, or
Yeah.
get them scheduled
I mean,
for a day?
yep, I would love that.
I know it's not as simple as calling them up saying, hey, come down, because we've got, they've got to have insurance and proof of insurance, and there's a lot of red tape that has to happen before we can even allow them to do work for us. A W-9, Joanne always wants that. So
Proof of insurance.
there's a lot of I's to dot, T's to cross, but I can give them a call and see if they'd be interested in coming down. Like I said, even if they just worked a 10-hour day, they might be able to move the clock ahead here a little bit for us.
Now, we did request with the state for some emergency funding to help us with the disaster. Is anything available, or do you know when that will be available? We could apply maybe to.
I've been working. That was between visits today.
Yeah.
I've been working on that all day.
Okay.
I just before we came in here, I sent a list of, I think there was 19 homes that had trees actually fall on the home that I'm aware of. And I had to list all those and the damage and the address, and I've sent them pictures, and there's a lot of government red tape, a lot of hoops to jump through. One of the things was the disaster emergency declaration that had to be done, because they kind of look at it like, well, if it wasn't worth even declaring a disaster emergency, you probably don't have that much damage. So that was the first thing I did the day after the event, was declare that and get that sent out to the state. So we're working on it. I don't know whether we'll get a dime from them or not, but we're certainly trying.
Be nice, wouldn't it? A couple quick questions for you, Eric. I won't make it long. Any updates on the leak down by the river? Has it heard any updates? Of what
I noticed that river bottom's full of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are they came up with an idea what they want to do?
We've got it isolated,
Okay.
but we still have to make the determination, cut and cap.
Okay.
So it's kind of there in limbo, which right now isn't any big deal with the river up like it is.
Yeah.
No way to
It's
get
pointless
things
at this
done.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Just for everybody's information, I have been working on scheduling a what we're calling an after action meeting with all the department heads, fire, police, Eric, everybody involved in the process here, not only the cleanup, but what we did the day that this happened, what we did right, what we could do better. I've invited a couple of folks from Fountain County Emergency Management to come up, sit on that meeting, and kind of give an outside perspective of what we did and what we could do better. So hoping that, hoping it doesn't happen again, but want to make sure that that we learn from our past experience. I won't say mistakes, because I think everybody did a phenomenal job, but I'm sure that we'll find some things that we could do better in the future. Unfinished business. There are no unsafe building orders tonight. Do we have utility credits tonight?
Yes. Yeah. They're somewhere. We keep going. Right there.
There they are. Thank you.
Does everything look to be in order, Eric?
Yep. Absolutely.
You got a chance to look at it, Mayor?
Yeah, I don't see anything that looks out of the way here, so I think we're good.
Okay, I'll make a motion we approve utility credits.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Payroll.
I don't know if I've seen payroll. Was there payroll on
Yeah,
there?
it's there.
Is it?
Mhm.
Overlooked.
You find it? That's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay,
That's
yep. I'm just
It
getting used
just
to the new
looks
form.
different. It looks different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything seemed to be in order?
I think so. Yeah, it does. It is laid out a little bit different. It's
Yeah,
nice. It's actually
different form. Yes, I'll make a motion we approve.
have a motion. I'll make a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The problem is that's an Attica Fire Department ink pen.
They buy the cheap pens. Is that what you're
Is it
telling me?
hot?
Oh, so it's a pretty pen,
It
but
is.
it
It's
just
very
doesn't want to
pretty.
write very well. Thank you. And we don't have any disconnects tonight,
No,
correct?
correct.
Okay, claims.
Has everybody had a chance to look at claims?
I did.
I did too, and I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. So I'll make a motion we approve.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
One of the things when it comes to utility credits, and Joanne and I talked about this earlier, was with the software change, there was a longer period between reads on the meters. So therefore, it may have kicked some folks from the minimum bill to the next tier of bill. So their bill may be a bit higher. So we're going to be looking at making adjustments to those to offset that. So, because it's not the residents' fault
Right.
that we switched software and we had to go longer to get the reads in. So if they get a bill that's higher than normal, and it's not because they've got a leak or something, it's because
Right.
of the number of days that went in. Am I saying that
No,
right?
Yeah, absolutely are.
Due to the
Yes.
number of days, we want to make sure that people aren't penalized for our getting new software. So we'll be making adjustments if this
Before
board
the bills are
agrees.
sent out or after?
I don't think we're gonna be able to do it before the bills are sent out.
'Cause we could
We
up-
might be able to, I'm not sure, because the city guys just brought in the reads today, and I've not had a chance to get those uploaded.
Right.
If
anybody can test it, we could always kind of look at the daily average and say that this would be somewhat normal because it was 10-day delay or whatever the day was. But obviously, if it's 3 times the amount, then obviously that's a different issue, right? So,
Right. And
That's
it-
where I was going.
yeah, that's what I know what you mean.
And based on the timing of the bills, if we can do it before, if we can make the adjustments before the bills are sent out, we will. But the September Board of Works meeting where disconnects will have to be approved is on the 1st. And the bills have to be received prior to the 1st in order for individuals to
Right.
request, not to be disconnected.
It would be hard to do.
But
I
we
mean-
can make the adjustment even after the bills are
Right,
sent
right,
out. It just won't be
exactly.
reflected on the bill.
Right. And most people don't come close to even hit the next tier anyway, so it'll probably just be a handful.
Right,
So I guess what I'm saying is, I'd like to be able to give the clerk's office enough leeway to make that happen when somebody comes in. I've been on the short end of people coming in and being upset because their bill wasn't right, and I don't want the clerk's office to have to go through the being yelled at.
I 100% agree, and I think it's obvious what a little bit of days over as compared to a major league. So I think we can. They've been around it long enough; they can figure that out. So if I need to make a motion, I'll make a motion that we give the clerk's office the leeway to change the bills accordingly based on the new software change.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I'm sure the citizens that it impacts will appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anybody to have to pay extra just because we
Right.
got new software, but on the same token, I've seen people come in very upset because their bill wasn't right and take it out on the girls in the office, and that's not right.
Right, and a lot of people are cutting it close, and it is a big deal. So
The perfect example is as we were going through this software conversion, we had the software individuals here, and we had a week where everything had to be done manually. And there were 3 days worth of payments they did not convert into the new software. Bills were sent out, payments that were made were not reflected. And we had some incredibly irate, nasty people come in because their bills, the payment wasn't reflected. I mean, it was an honest mistake. It was
Right.
done by the conversion team. Once we were aware of the issue, all those payments were posted, it was corrected. There wasn't an ongoing issue, but there was just not a lot of grace. I mean,
No.
people were very, very rude.
yeah, maybe if we need to send something out, just to say, hey, we understand there's
There
some
may be-
discrepancies.
And we may, and I
You know,
could, again,
we could
if
put-
they read it, I can put that out on.
Right.
On a
Yeah, but
push
that's
notification. but-
that's too bad that you have to deal with that.
All right. Next meeting scheduled for Tuesday, September 1st, 2026, 5 p.m. We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
All second, all in favor?
All right. Hey, what I was going to say is, you've done a really nice job with this. Is there any way